Pickaxe.
Ooh, we're back!
No,
from the dead.
I don't like it.
We're back from the dead, reanimated. Hello. Welcome to Spookiots.
What's up with that fucking title, though, Peter? You're really putting the willies up me now, son.
Oh, sure, yeah, that's the real scary thing, the title of the episode. Oh,
No.
Man. That's terrifying,
Not again.
that word. Well, those of you who are sort of listening to this as it goes out will know that we have had a bit of a break since the last episode. And I think we all feel very well rested from it, don't we?
Oh, yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
But we thought, hey, it's time to come back. It's time to carry on. So we are doing Spookiots today. Then in November, we'll do another episode towards the end of the month. We'll be doing an episode in December for Christmas and New Year. And then in all likelihood, we think from the new year onwards, we may well stick to that monthly schedule. We've had a nice old rest. We do want to continue doing what we do and doing it well. And we think maybe the best way to do that is to actually sort of space those episodes out a little bit and perhaps allow more time for crazy, wacky things to happen to us in our lives so that we can bring along, perhaps more anecdotal stuff that was, from the heady days of early Podiots. And so, we think it's probably a really good thing to do for the show. And that's our reasoning. Have I covered everything? Are there any more details?
I think you've hit the nail on the head there. We sort of looked inwards and we had a long conversation about a month ago about what we wanted to do after taking a break, because we've been doing this, apart from little breaks over Christmas and New Year's, we've been doing this since our sort of early to mid 20s, and some of us are in our early 30s now.
Yeah.
This is like our longest job.
Yeah, so taking a little break, it was like, okay, let's have a little reflection on how we want to make this sustainable, and we want to make it as good as possible for you guys, of course. Appreciate it's going to be a pretty disappointing thing to hear, but we hope you understand our reasoning at least. And so, Mikey, maybe perhaps you could tell them what we've done in an attempt to cushion the blow of this news.
Well, we called upon an old character of Vidiots lore, one who you all are probably very familiar with, and he is sadly too familiar with us, more familiar than he'd like to be. We commissioned something very, very interesting.
Are we ready to all listen to it now together?
Yeah.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello, Podiots listeners. It's beloved children's entertainer Dave Benson Phillips.
He's
here
back
now.
Hey.
I understand that some of you may be very disappointed to hear that this podcast is reducing its frequency from fortnightly to monthly, but I'm here to reassure you that everything will be okay. You still get all the great Podiot silliness you've come to expect and more. The wait between episodes might be agonizing, but think of how much sweeter it'll feel when an episode releases. So tell your friends, support the Pod Squad, and once again, please, just leave me out of it, all right? Enough said. Bye.
Wow. A lot to unpack there. And this
more.
message comes with a whole heap of baggage that we're going to get into right now.
Because, of course, when you involve Dave Benson Phillips in anything, it's not straightforward.
No.
It isn't, we try to leave him out of it. We try. And then he just offers up the most delicious bit. And now here we are.
We also, I think, we try, when we refuse to leave him out of it and we do involve him in it, much like we did here, we sort of try our best to shepherd him ourselves, I feel like. I think we kind of, we give him a script to read. We tell him what we want when we want it. We say, look, we'd very happily pay you for a message. And as it turns out, things don't always go as smoothly as you would expect them to. I mean, for one thing, can I just point out that the delivery of that, it felt a bit less sincere and
it's a bit wooden, isn't it?
Natural. It's a bit wooden. There are at least 2, if not 3 moments in there where I think anyone else would have said, "Oh, hang on, no, stop. Let's do that again." I sort of stumbled But no, he kept on rolling. And my favourite part about that fact, though, is that the only bit that sounds natural and sincere is right at the end when he tells us to leave him out of it. He suddenly goes back into, no, this is actual Dave now.
This is what I feel
leave
like.
me out of it. Yeah.
It was a fascinating sort of back and forth that is actually, to give you a peek behind the curtain, at the time of recording, still ongoing. Because I reached out to Dave, God, what was it, like a couple of weeks ago now?
Yeah.
Because he was very much our white whale. We knew that this news would be disappointing to some. We thought, what would be a fun way to sort of cushion the blow a bit? Here's a few like shortlist ideas, some relevant people to Podiots who are on Cameo that maybe we could just play the audio of if we paid them to make a message. What if we try and reach out to Dave Benson Phillips again? We know that he went rogue last time and wanted us to leave him out of it, but we also know that people have paid for him to do messages for us, and he has recorded them since then. So there was a chance that maybe he'd be okay. I reached out to his agent. I asked how much it might cost. His agent didn't reply with a cost, but said that he would send the script over to Dave. By the way, I did ask if he could say 150 points at the end, and he didn't do that.
Oh, what?
He never gets that right.
No. He literally read the script verbatim, apart from the 150. I mean, you can hear him reading it word by word. Yeah. It's pretty obvious he's reading it off his phone. Then he, of course, did end up recording it as recently as yesterday at the time of recording. We were having conversations like, I have chased a couple of times now and also asked for a price a couple of times now, and I've not had anything through. So we were sort of resigning ourselves to the fact that we may have to record two versions of this intro, one where Dave does come through before it's edited, and one where he doesn't, and we have to go with an alternative. Fortunately, he came through. The important thing to note, though, is that after I emailed asking what the price would be for a third time, we got sent that audio file for free.
We've not paid.
We've not paid anything. His agent just sent it to us, and we couldn't really understand why or believe it. So I sent it to you guys and said, what do we do? Do we press for... Do we push for like a price or something? Because the accompanying message was, "Hi Ben, hope this is okay." Because no mention of price at all.
Yeah, we've still not had a price. It's not even like, oh, we had a message through with the file attached. Hey guys, hope this is okay. Dave says, oh, it'll be, whatever, tenner or 100 quid or anything in between. And then at least, all right, yeah, you shouldn't really send the file to us without having been paid. But at least there's an honesty system there. There's an honor system in place where it's like, all right, I've told you how much to send back to me now. Enjoy your file. But we've not even had a price to send.
This is why Dave's doing shows for stuff, because his agent just refuses to talk about money.
This is it. This is the realization we're coming to, because it's developed further than that since last night. So after asking you guys, should we ask again for a fourth time about how much he wants for this, Peter said, this man needs money, we need to pay this man, which is a fair point.
Pay him.
Yeah.
So I replied last night at 8 p.m. saying, hello, agent of Dave Benson Phillips, who we're still just a little bit convinced might just be Dave himself, perhaps. Hi, agent of Dave Benson Phillips. That's spot on. Please thank Dave for us. How much does he want for it? Thanks, Ben. And then today, at 11 a.m.
Unbelievable reply.
We simply cannot get our heads around this. It just doesn't make any sense.
From a business perspective.
His agent gets back to us again and says, hi, Ben. Do you want to pop something into PayPal for him? And then just sent a URL for the PayPal to pay... amount of money.
Just whatever we feel like.
And I hasten to add, the URL they send is the email address of the agent, not of Dave.
It's
so
not
they've
even
sent
Dave.
their own PayPal account. And maybe that's how Dave does all of his business dealings. I'm not suggesting that there's anything untoward going on. But we've just been sent the agent's PayPal account and the message, do you want to pop something into PayPal? Like Dave did it as a favour to us.
So there's two baffling schools of thought here. One is that he views us with such contempt that he simply doesn't want our money and doesn't care about it.
He did the message to make us go away and doesn't want our money.
But the alternative is that actually this is just how he does business, which is
it explains so much.
Mind blowing.
Oh God! It honestly, it reminds me of like a box of eggs outside a farmhouse, and there's a cardboard sign that says "suggested donation 50."
It's an honesty box.
Yeah, it's an honesty
Dave
box
Benson
with
Phillips
a suggested
has an honesty
price,
box
not
for
even
his
an
career.
actual price. Yeah, it's
Do you reckon
insane.
they did the same thing with "Come Dine with Me"?
Yeah.
Where Dave went on the show for free and then said, "I don't know, do you want to pop something into PayPal for him?"
Oh God!
I mean, he knows how to put on a show, I'll tell him that. Rather than just getting a voice message, we got a whole storyline to go with it. So you know what? Fair play, Dave.
Spectacular. This went, we went in with expectations of something to talk about. Mm-hmm. And it far exceeded anything that we could have, even in the script, and I told you guys this, I put in parentheses at the end, Dave can promote his business here if he wants to. Partly because I thought there was no way that he could resist doing that, but mainly because I thought that if he did do it, it'd be really funny that he suddenly just started promoting his website or something at the end of the message. But he didn't do that, and he somehow still over-delivered for free currently, because we need to decide right now how much I'm going to pop into Dave's PayPal for him.
This isn't a bit. We're
really
waiting
all
until
happened.
now, live on air, to decide how much we paid Dave Benson Phillips. So, I mean, we have to look at the whole picture here. Last time for £50, we got a video as well, correct?
We did,
yes. Instantly that adds some
Who was it
value
that managed to
things.
green screen that in the end?
Me, barely. I had to add.
It was a brilliant job. You did.
I added lots of fuzzy effects on it on purpose to hide the very fuzzy background that wouldn't key out properly.
I think audio quality, I feel like I could hear a faint hum of a washing machine in the background of the video if you listen real carefully.
He did a show for that washing machine.
Maybe he was rewinding his stack of DVDs. Maybe that's what you were hearing.
Yeah, possibly.
So it was £50 last time for a video.
Yeah.
This is 2018 Dave Benson Phillips. We're talking about 2024 Dave Benson Phillips, who's been on Come Dine With Me.
He didn't say 150 points as requested.
He didn't, so that's a little off.
Yeah.
But he did add some ad-lib stuff to the delivery of Leave Me Out of It, which made it feel very convincing, as you said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that came from the heart, I think.
Yeah. We're playing with house money here, right? This is literally your Pod Squad money at work.
I forgot about that bit. Yeah, this is from the pot.
Maybe we should let the audience decide.
You reckon?
Between now and the next... Well,
you reckon?
He won't get paid for a month.
I don't think he's going to know. I think this is... This feels to me, the approach is, if we get anything, that is a victory.
But why do the message then? Why take the time? And also, I'll tell you what surprised me as well. Well, what surprised me for a start was that he actually did the message for us full stop in terms of why doesn't he hate us? You know, I thought he would just not even reply. But the fact that he was game to do it, it's like he's never done one of these before. And, there's no infrastructure in place. Surely he occasionally gets requests, or at least he could be doing if he set up a Cameo, or I'm sure he used to be on a different
used to be
service provider. I don't think he was ever on Cameo, but it was on one of those other ones. I can't remember what the other ones are called, but he used to advertise before that he does messages, but this whole process has been like he's never done it in his life, or his agent has no idea what is going on.
How much is it worth? So you think we should? Do you think maybe we should wait until the episode is out? A week from now.
Well, if they don't chase us for money, then it's
He'll
fine.
Still get
Maybe
it. Yeah.
Yeah, they're still going to get money, more than they asked for, more than they really were contractually obliged to give them. Do I trust our audience enough to not make us pay?
We can override our audience, I think. But it's just the fact we've been given a blank check. It's like a humble bundle. I mean, we could send him. We could send him 30p.
Yeah. I think to stop our audience, rather than have it be an open poll where everyone can suggest £1,000 and then vote for that, I think if we maybe come up with a set of amounts, maybe based on 150 points, it could be £1.50, £15, and then it's already getting a bit high.
That's enough. We've already reached the ceiling there.
Yeah. Or we can suggest a range of prices in a poll, and people can vote for how much we should pay their money to Dave. How much of that should go?
I'm willing to ignore any follow-up emails,
right?
If there are any, because it's very much been one-way traffic. This conversation until this episode releases, and we can put a poll out, and then when we do pay, regardless of whether they've messaged chasing or not, depending on how aggressive the chasing is, I can just reply and say, I'm really sorry. I've been massively swamped. I've sent something over now. Hope that's okay. And then that'll be fine, probably.
They can hardly complain in the meantime that we've not been very communicative, or we've not given the unpromised amount of money that they had in their mind. Yeah,
do you
I think that
want
works.
to pop something into PayPal for him? Do I? Do we? I don't know.
Well, I'm not.
I don't actually know.
This is what my gut's saying. We can disagree. But
Go on.
10, 20, 30. 10 being the cheapie, 20 being the fair, 30 being the big blowout kind of. Yeah, Dave's getting a treat. Dave's getting a McDonald's tonight.
Okay. I think that works, because that caps out as more than half the price that we did pay for a video message, which I think does take more effort and is a more substantial thing. So I googled the words Dave Benson Phillips and voice message, and I found a forum post on mumsnet.com where someone has posted a thread saying, how would I go about asking a semi-celebrity to record me a voicemail message?
Semi-celebrity?
Well, they weren't talking about him, but then down in the replies, someone has put, lol, Dave Benson Phillips did this for my cousin once, and that was posted in November 2023, so about this time last year. So he has done one, at least in the past 12 months. But they've just sort of forgotten how to handle it all, by the looks of it.
Well, we will put out a poll once this episode goes live, and you guys can help us decide how much Dave gets paid for this message, because for some reason that's been left up to us, which doesn't make any sense.
No.
Whatsoever. But the real headline here is that we are going down to monthly releases, and we thank you for your understanding and your patience. We do have one other thing that we would like to announce to cushion that blow, and that is that the annual Vidiots reunion live stream, which won't be in person but will be remote like we do every year, where we spend a whole evening getting drunk and playing video games and reacting to old content, raising money for charity, that will be happening again this year. And it will be happening on Friday the 13th of December, time TBC, but we will let you know the details soon. But put that in your calendars, 13th of December. We hope to see as many of you there as possible, and we'll raise money for a good cause and all hang out together. So thank you so much, everyone. We hope this news isn't too disappointing for you. Dave Benson Phillips himself recorded a message for free because he feels so strongly about it.
As I say, I forgot about the whole fact that we were reducing down to a month monthly because we spent the last 20 minutes just talking about Dave.
That's it's old news now. But just to add to that, as well as doing the live stream, you will still get a monthly episode of Podiots in December as well. So don't be thinking you're going to miss out on that just because we're doing the reunion stream. You get both.
Yep, certainly will. Yeah. Without further ado, have you guys seen Kevin anywhere?
I wonder what he's been doing all this time. He's probably not been playing much music out of his mouth.
I wouldn't have thought so, no.
Oh, look, Rick, I can hear him squeaking from the distance. He's got a little spooky Halloween costume on. Oh, look at that.
Oh my God, it's too scary. Oh. Hello hello everybody, and welcome to Spookiots, the official Spookiots Spookcast. It's a conversational spookcast. The cat is on the keyboard. Go away. Where we take some questions from you at home and obey the law of the three Us, where everybody brings a thing along to spook. Yep, I'm Ben.
Yep.
I'm Peter.
And I'm Mikey. Hello.
Guys,
Hello.
It's so lovely to talk to you again. I haven't shared a word with either of you since the summer.
It's true. Yeah.
Just been ignoring one another.
No, yeah. We came back to do some hard business negotiating earlier, but yeah, we
did.
Yeah, we took some
Mikey
time.
slammed his fist on the table and said, I want 33% at least. And we said, that's what you
That's
have
exactly
now.
how much you... Well, actually, all three of us only have 25%, and the other 25% goes to Kevin. So
It does, yeah.
you know.
Kevin does have a pretty big share, actually. He does very little work, but he does
Yeah.
have a big share.
He doesn't even have a bank account. We just slip notes into his mouth hole. It's weird.
We just pretend they're notes. We draw them. We've got a load of fake movie ones from Amazon, and he thinks they're real, so don't.
And every time you slip one into his mouth, it does just a tiny little bit of it goes da, 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 and then he shuts his mouth again. And, you know.
He does. I think he knows on some level that it's not a real note. Otherwise, he'd play the whole thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, one of the beautiful things about doing this a little less regularly is that lots of things in our lives happen between each episode.
Yeah.
And so we can have a lovely catch up. One of the first things we should mention, of course, is that all of us, per Kevin's #deface Google Adventures, have been on a massive holiday all around the world. So if you happen to browse to one or more sort of famous monuments and geographical features from around the world, you might see us on the Google reviews having been there. And that was pretty exciting, wasn't it? Going to all those amazing places.
Around the world tour. That's what your Pod Squad money has gone towards. Dave's message and our massive holiday.
Yeah, it certainly has. Additionally, our photo of Peter and I holding hands in front of Snappy's Tomato Pizza has now been viewed 1 million times on
Indeed.
Google Maps.
Wow. I don't
Yeah.
trust
Huge
these emails
milestone.
that Google sends you. Like, is that right? 1 million people?
Doesn't
I
feel
get like
right,
an email
does it?
every once in a while, like, wow, 500,000 people have viewed your edit. I'm like, really? Like, who's looking at obscure van companies in the middle of the Midlands? Like,
Podiots
Yeah.
presents Snappy's Tomato Pizza. Yeah.
There's no way that 1 million people have even searched for Snappy's Tomato Pizza in Bristol in that time, let alone clicked on the map marker and then seen us. No way.
No way. No way.
No way.
One thing I would like to know, though, more so than anything else, is what you guys have been up to outside of our globe-trotting adventure. Mikey, where have you been? What have you been doing? What have you been fucking doing, man?
Oh, Jesus.
So, like, during the break, I set aside a little page of my notes app. Like, this is where I'm going to write fun things that happen while we're not recording, so I've got something to talk about. And you want to know the one thing I wrote in that notes app?
What's that?
Went to Asda Bedminster, no birds, just a man shouting in the trolley house. Like, literally out front of the shop is like the little sheds where trolleys live, like
Yeah,
little
the trolley
plastic
house.
things. Just a man in there screaming at every person that went into the shop, like, "Fuck your mum! Fuck your mum!" Like swearing everyone's mum off
Fuck
as they
your
went
mum.
in. Fuck yeah, something like that. I couldn't quite make it out. Something about everyone's mothers. It was my first time at Asda Bedminster in a while, so I was quite excited to go back, and it delivered. Still shed a little tear every time I walk past the cake printing machine that isn't there anymore. Or the old ladies that used to deliver our cakes.
Are you sure that's right? Yeah. That's what I wanted.
You had a birthday, Mikey. That's one thing. Speaking of that
Oh,
cake
yeah.
thing, because
That's
on our social media, Kevin put out a video of your birthday post some tat where Peter remembered that you were vegan and couldn't eat the cake we bought you.
Yeah, I had a lovely birthday. I'm 30 now, which is
Oh,
Wow.
so
the last
old.
of the Vidiots to turn 30. This is we're all old men now. Not saying we're old, but we're older men at least.
Yeah, we are.
True.
I did go. I went on like a big trip. God, must be. When did I go on the big trip? End of August, September, maybe.
Yeah.
This is one I've been waiting to talk about. This it's quite an involved story. So I don't know if I should wait till next month to bring it or or
it could be your thing. Don't waste it.
Is honestly
You're going to forget it.
Yeah.
No, there's pages of notes about this trip.
Oh my god. Okay.
Wow.
Because I started writing notes as it was happening. Because like, this is worth writing down because this could get interesting, and it got really interesting. So I'm going to leave you on that cliffhanger, and next time I'll have a full dossier of Mikey's cycling trip around countries. Which,
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it's like me. I had a thing ready for this episode. I was like, oh yeah, I've been working on this for a little while. I'm going to save it for Podiots rather than just post it online myself. And then it's Spookiots, so I can't. It's not spooky related, so it has to wait till November. So there you go. You've already, dear viewers and listeners, got a promise of hot, exciting content next month.
Yeah,
boy,
you do.
What have you been up to, Ben?
Well, I went on a big holiday to Italy. That was quite exciting. My girlfriend and I drove around northern Italy, went to a lot of places, saw David's, not at Dave on Twitter, not Dave Benson Phillips, but saw David's full winkle, his wonkles and his butox as well. And that was pretty incredible. He's got...
Made by a Ninja Turtle, right?
Made by a Ninja Turtle, already very impressive.
Michelangelo.
Makes it way more impressive. And everyone talks about his winkle, right? No one talks about his bum. Have you guys seen this dude's ass?
No, because it's all dick pics
It's all
when you
dick.
Google him.
You think about Dave, you think that guy's that's the guy with the penis, right?
Yeah.
You don't think that about many other men, but you think about David and you think that's the guy he's got the winkle, hasn't he? That one with the wonkle. But his bum's incredible.
it's caked. I've never, well,
fully caked up, right?
And
obviously he faces the hall, so you see, like, he presents his Johnson & Johnson directly to the viewing public.
Right.
But then there's a row, there's like an alcove of benches around his behind, so that you can actually sit and look at the bum.
Oh.
Which I think
the
is...
bum bench.
The bum bench, which I think is actually very forward-thinking. So that was incredible. Saw the statue of Pisa. That was all right. Wasn't that amazing, to be honest?
Leaning
get a
Tower.
photo with it.
The statue of Pisa, yeah, the Leaning Tower. That's what I meant. That is what I meant. I saw the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Sorry, Mikey, did I get what?
Did you get a picture with it? Did you do the classic tourist photo trying to hold it up?
I did actually. I'll send you a photo. It's actually a really good one. I think it was one of the better ones.
It is good. I've seen it. I like it a lot.
I'm gonna have to try and find it though. It's in a folder. But while I do that, I'll tell you that we stayed in Airbnbs, and there were 2 locations and 2 occasions where an elderly Italian man tried to let himself into our apartment.
Oh God!
The same man or a different man?
Different man. Different. If it was the same man who followed us across the country, I would be a bit more concerned. Thankfully, it wasn't. So it turns out it was in both instances, it was actually while he wasn't doing the internet interfacing, much like Dave Benson Phillips, he was the owner of that specific flat that we were staying in.
Right.
But one of the mornings we woke up and we just heard the door handle rattling. We're like, what the fuck is that?
Oh God!
And this house in particular was actually, it felt very haunted. The furniture was extremely old. It had no microwave, no Wi-Fi, and
that's very haunted.
It was very
attribute
spooky
to have no microwave. You know, there's a ghost around if there's no microwave.
Famously, ghosts hate microwaves, so the lack of microwave was a telltale sign. So we stayed there and we heard this rattling at the door. Like, what the hell's that? So we messaged the Airbnb host, like, we think someone just tried to let themselves into the accommodation. And they replied and said, I'm so sorry, that's my father. He's 80. He likes to say hello to people. And we're like, what? What the fuck? It was actually very sweet. And both elderly Italian men didn't speak a word of English and we didn't speak any Italian, but they were very enthusiastic and very welcoming. And we had a lovely time in their respective accommodations, even though there were ghosts there. So I've sent you the photo now, Mikey. You can see me doing the pose.
Oh, you nailed it.
I have.
Perfect. The tower looks so, like, it's leaning so much.
Yeah, that's the thing. Most of the photos I took, it didn't actually look that bad.
Yeah, it's just really straight looking. Yeah.
But what about you, Peter? What have you been doing?
I've been all over this week. But my favourite place, I've actually got a supermarket-related story that happened to me as well. No birds involved. But as I was on my way into a Lidl a few weeks ago, I saw what turned out to be a member of the public tackle another member of the public and scuffle with him sort of on the floor in the porch of the Lidl. And they were properly going at it. And the victim, if you like, the bottom, was
There's got to be a better way to describe that.
No, absolutely not. There was a young sort of I don't know. He's the kind of guy who I'd have been a bit worried to walk past in the street at night. Let's just say that he looked like he's got friends in low places. And the guy who had grabbed him was a much older man with some sunglasses on, and the guy who was on the ground going, "Get off, man! Get off! Get off now! Get off, man!" And then eventually some members of staff also came and just kind of stood and watched. They did not get involved at all. And it turned out that when they got up off the floor, the younger guy reached into his pants and dropped 3 steaks on the floor.
What?
And then just sort of, he threw them on the floor and then just sort of like walked off very quickly. He didn't want to run because that would have looked,
Suspicious.
I don't know, uncool or suspicious. He was like, I'm fine. I'm chill about it. All right, you might have caught me, but I'm just going to go. So he was walking, but as fast as he possibly could.
Doesn't even need the steaks. Doesn't even want them.
Well, yeah, I mean, he'd seemingly put 3 steaks down his trousers, tried to walk out with them, and there had been a citizen's arrest or a citizen's grapple.
Wow.
But, my biggest question was, and I should have watched to see if it happened, whether the pants steaks went back on the shelf. I don't know. I don't know if they did.
Yeah, are they tainted steaks? Like, I don't know. It's all in packaging.
Those.
Yeah, I mean, they're vacuum sealed, but...
maybe they'll go on the reduced aisle with the yellow sticker on it.
Has had willy on it. Tastes just as good. It's like wonky veg.
He made the rookie mistake there by trying to disguise the steaks in his pants. Just walk out of there with them in your hands. Act like you own them. Don't shove them in your pants.
Mm-hmm.
I did see a guy walk out of Tesco just the other day with like a 4-pack of Carling in his hands, just sauntered out of the place.
Really?
No one batted an eyelid. You definitely didn't pay for them. So yeah, here's some handy advice, kids. If you want to steal, just walk out with them.
Mm-hmm.
Just put on high vis, carry a ladder, you'll be fine.
It's the Carling inspector here again.
Well, lovely. Haven't we all been up to some amazing things since last time?
Truly.
And this is part of the reason we're reducing episode frequency, to allow these things to happen. Because I think we miss Podiots of old, where silly things happened. It's turned into a sort of, here's a very interesting thing, but it's from the internet or it's from a book or something. So this is what you can expect, hopefully, going forwards.
Absolutely. And if you want to support what we're doing going forwards, and maybe you want to help us pay Dave Benson Phillips or not, then you should go to podiots.com. If you go there and donate £3 or more, you'll get a shout out at the beginning and the end of the next episode of Podiots. You support what we do here and all the ridiculous things that we may or may not spend your money on. So please do consider doing that. We've got, it's been a little while since we've done an episode, obviously. So today's Pod Squad is lengthy and it's ready to go, and Mikey's going to kick us off.
We begin with Frogley. Chegg is love, Chegg is life. The generous Raindrop Joy, who says, "So happy to see you lovely boys back. I have listened to each episode multiple times.
Wow.
Thanks for the years of entertainment. Keys? Question mark? Keys. Thank you very much, Raindrop Joy." We continue with Orla Board Choo Choo. That's Orla, like a name, board, like a game board, if that's a thing, and Choo Choo like a train. Very good. No. Dr. Goblin. Caroline, it's been a while. Is Pod Squad the only way that Caroline and the partner communicate with each other?
The relationship's broken down quite severely at this point.
Read down, Caroline, please feed the cats. Caroline, please feed the cats. Caroline, the cats haven't been fed and they're now dead.
You have 30 minutes to move your cube.
Lord Change to Vic. Ooh.
He knew somehow.
He knew. Yeah.
He did.
you been talking to the corpse, Fred? That right?
Think
You've
so.
been talking to the corpse, Fred. Specky Becky, Stephen Scodes, thought Peter should know. There's now a Time Team podcast.
Oh, wow.
How many of them are still
Exciting.
alive, though? Tony's there?
So, yeah, I mean, if Tony's there, that's really all I'm in for.
Tony's
Okay.
still live and kicking, I think.
Okay, good.
And we finish with the lovely 21 drizzling dick saws. Thank you.
Oh, goodness
Lovely.
gracious
Nice.
me.
We've also got Hope I'm on time to say, welcome back, boys, girls, and others. It's 4 separate donations.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
France is bacon. French dip is magic. Big round jabbers make me hut. Scott Chegg. She pod. On my D. Till it hurts. And Billy Bear Beef Wellington. Oh, good grief.
Sounds awful.
Yeah, it does.
And finally, we have Mr. Macca, a succulent Australian corpse. Oh, no.
Oh.
These ones are getting closer to episode 150
Oh, wait.
when this was relevant, I think.
Yeah, wait, I forgot. Yeah, he did he die like before or after that episode?
Just
came
before.
out?
I think around the time, yeah.
Oh.
I think we've talked about it on an episode.
Sad. You, the very generous You Say Wank If We Give Coin, who said wants to get this ready for near 150, but was sidelined for weeks by an unplanned hospital visit. Had a crazy old man next to me in my room. Never get sick, boys. Much love to all of you. Sincerely, Jens Herman. Oh, Jens, we hope you're doing okay now.
Yeah, I hope you're doing all right, Jens.
You're feeling better. Thank you so much.
You gave coin, so we will all say wank for you now.
Wank.
Wank.
There we go.
Perfect.
Hi, I am Barry Scott. Bang. That's the donation name.
Mm-hmm.
Bethesda presents Balls Out 3 Poo Anus. Oh, I think that's Fallout 3 New Vegas, maybe?
Oh, yeah.
Very good.
Potentially.
Well done.
God,
Bethesda
well
presents
spotted.
Balls Out 3 Poo Anus.
Unbelievable.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
She Daves my Benson until I Phillips. The very generous Whiskey Mike, who said, I'll be married by the time you read this. Hope you're married.
Wow.
On an episode. So maybe here's a shout out for that. Would you? Or give us a shout out for that. Would you? There's a typo in there. Cheers for the laughs, lads. All the best. Mike from Draw the Fans 1.
Oh,
Wow.
no way.
From
Congratulations,
Draw the Fans
Mike.
1. Congratulations, Mike, and to Mike's new spouse.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Mr.
Send us
or
a wedding
Mrs.
picture
Mike.
and we'll do another Draw the Fans.
Well, we could do one on the reunion stream, potentially.
Yeah, we could actually. That's a good idea.
We also have Prince Beefcakes, Durst Game Ever, which is very good. Ben shops in Aldi on Sundays. I actually went in an Aldi today, so that's Wednesdays as well. And Billy Bear Beef Wellington for a second time.
Oh, yeah.
She's also there. Thank you so
Do you
much, Pod Squad. Sorry.
Do you think the Ben shops in Aldi on Sundays is from someone who's actually seen you in an Aldi on Sunday, and they're just trying to be a little bit scary?
I mean,
by sending you a
potentially.
message?
That's, yeah. I did bump into someone in a Tesco when I was checking
Okay.
out the other week, but my trolley was full of vodka. So, I mean, you can read into that what you want. It's no mystery.
Yeah,
But
he
it's
drank
not
it.
Aldi. Yeah, drinking alcohol. I was going to drink it. That's what I was going to do.
Yeah.
I'm having some now. So, fucking mystery solved. Thank you so much, Pod Squad. We really appreciate you, and we will appreciate your support even more so going forwards. Podiots.com, £3 or more to get a shout out at the beginning and the end of the next episode of Podiots. Thank you so much. Well, we are 45 minutes into this podcast. I suppose it's time to do the first thing. We, of course, turned to our wonderful listeners on Twitter / not going to say it, to request some things. I neglected, unfortunately, to request specifically spooky things because this is Spookiots, but perhaps we should start with the spookiest thing that was submitted by multiple listeners, and I believe Michael Johnson has that.
You are correct. The thumbnail for this alone is horrifying, so boy, I can't wait to dive in. Yes, this was sent in by multiple people. Here we have listed Sarah at Bags for Dice, Fergus Jeffs at FJeffs1, and Greg Miller at GregMill2290. This is a story from Sky News, and the headline reads, Children's Soft Play Centre apologises over body bag Halloween decorations.
Oh God!
There's the subtitle. God, the name of this soft play. Rugrats and half pints in Cirencester, Gloucestershire, said they will be removed after concerns from shocked parents. Would you like to see a picture of a body bag?
Boy,
Yes,
would I.
please.
God, it's not just the body bag, it's everything surrounding the body bag.
Oh,
It's so realistic.
it is. It doesn't look like a lot of Halloween decorations are so cheap and tacky that they don't look like the thing they're supposed to be. That could just be meat in a bin bag.
That could be a person.
Yeah, a person.
Could be a child.
It's
Person meat in a bin bag.
so, I mean, yeah, like for people at home, it is what looks like a human body wrapped in bin bags with what looks like bungee cord wrapped around the neck, held up by big steel poles. So yes, quite a horrifying image for Rugrats and half pints to enjoy. At the beginning of the article here, it says a link, why you can trust Sky News.
Oh, I won't.
So yeah. Well, we'll see what we think of them by the end of this. Oh my God, there's more pictures. Okay. Oh, I'll read a bit more. I'll send the pictures. Yeah, this is bad.
Okay.
Someone messed up here. A children's soft play centre has apologised and removed its realistic-looking Halloween body bags after concerns from shocked parents. One mother, who took her daughter to Rugrats and Half Pints in Cirencester, Gloucestershire, on Sunday, said she did a double take when she spotted the decorations. Pictures show they resemble human bodies covered in black plastic, some wrapped with tape and marked "Caution" and "Danger," hanging upside down from poles adjoining one of the soft play structures. The mother, who didn't want to be named, told Sky News, I went inside with my daughter. The body bags were at the back, which can't be seen from the cafe area, only by the kids inside.
That is shocking.
When they're not accompanied by a comforting adult.
Here, kids, come round here. Look at the implied death.
Oh my God. I'm going to finish this quote and I'm going to send the second picture, which is stunning. When I saw them, I just did a double take. Surely that can't be what I think it is. I just didn't want to have to explain to my kid what they were. I spoke to some other parents after who were as shocked as I was that it was deemed appropriate. It's a great soft play, but that did shock me a bit. Now this made me recoil. So I'm going to send. God, there's more pictures. Oh my God, yeah. Here's the two remaining pictures in the article. I would not send my child anywhere near this place.
Oh my God. It's so realistic.
They are so human-shaped, and they are upside down. What on earth? There aren't even any other Halloween decorations. It's just body bags. No pumpkins, no bats. Oh,
I think
the walls are yellow, though. Maybe this is what the Vidiots room got turned into. After
that's what would have happened to us if we wouldn't have earned our wages back after the fabled second year.
I was going to say, in that final image, you have in these soft play areas, you sometimes have the hanging sort of soft play foam, almost like boxer punching bags. And, you've got that hanging right next to the body as though you can go and interact with it if you like.
It's mad. I think even for a play area that would be appropriate to the sort of age of kid that you would expect to be in there, I think even fake blood might be a bit too much. I think if you're talking Halloween decorations for this kind of environment, you're talking cartoon pumpkins, cartoon witches, maybe a couple of skeletons. That's it. This looks like
with eyes on them.
Exactly. This looks like children did not escape or did not go back to their parents in time.
Yeah.
Oh, God. It is brilliant. The article continues. The centre's website says it is committed to providing a safe, clean and stimulating environment with the emphasis on fun. Yes.
The final line of this article, I think, is particularly excellent. The way it signs off.
Okay. Wait, if you want to see these body bags for yourselves, it's the prices here range from $5.75 up to $11.75 per child. I wonder what you get when you spend the extra $5.
That's the full body bag experience. Yeah.
You get to go in the body bag. Yeah, that's
the. And for
spokesperson.
£15, you get to leave alive. You know, they'll let you go at the end.
A spokesperson told Sky News, "This is the first time someone has brought it to our attention, so of course, due to this, we will take them down immediately."
Yes.
It wasn't, it wasn't to cause distress, and we apologise. This is how they have felt. We apologise you feel this way.
Sorry you were
Classic
upset.
good-
Sorry about you feeling that way. Yeah.
Dear. And yeah, it was the winner of the Traveller's Choice Award 2022, and the final line of the article here reads, "In essence, Rugrats and Half Pints is the soft play centre you have been waiting for." That's a quote.
Come see our implied dead children.
You've been waiting for us, and we've been waiting for you. Get in the bag.
5 stars. 5 stars.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. Good God. Thank you very much to everyone who's admitted that. That is horrifying.
It is. That's a bad choice there.
Whenever I think of sort of the seedy or dirtier side of soft play areas, I always remember that my cousin's cousin, who I only met on a few occasions, once told us that the soft play area near him occasionally allowed teens in at certain times of the week. And he said that there was this bit where if you crawled through, you could get sort of into the behind the scenes where you'd go out of this hole and it would just be concrete. And he said there were sometimes used condoms there, which is, lovely.
That is
like
fancy.
The 17-year-olds that go into the concrete bit at the back of the soft play area.
The cement
Romantic.
fuck palace behind the scenes.
Yeah, indeed. It's never left my mind. And now whenever any story like this comes up, I'm like, oh yeah, the condoms in the concrete fuck palace. Yeah.
There were a lot of formative memories there. A lot of teenagers became adults, perhaps, in that facility.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, thank you very much, Mikey, for that. It is time for, fingers crossed, the next spooky thing, which is courtesy of Peter Austin.
Indeed, mine is spooky. I can promise that.
Fantastic.
Or, well, it's not, but it's spooky adjacent.
Okay.
So I have been on the Twitter account, which I believe, let me get the exact name of it. I think it's called Bad 2-Sentence Horror, which is based on the subreddit 2-Sentence Horror. Are you familiar with that, Ben?
I think I've seen some like screenshots of people posting these things before.
I have a feeling Mikey is probably familiar with it, right?
Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
It's at Bad 2-Sentence, and the 2 is a number 2. So all I've done is I've compiled some good posts from Bad 2-Sentence Horror. And for those who don't know, who are watching or listening, it's a subreddit where you go on and you post 2-sentence horror stories. So you put the first sentence of the horror story in the title of the post, and then in the main body you put the second sentence. So it's a bit like that. This isn't a horror story, but it's a bit like the 2-sentence tragedy, which is something like for sale, engagement ring, never worn, or something. Someone's bought the ring and it wasn't needed. Yeah, that kind of thing, but scary. I've got some of the worst ones for you here, and we're going to enjoy them together. So we'll start with, when we got married, my husband said to me that he would never let my stomach go empty. Now I'm carrying his 4th child, and I'm beginning to realise he didn't meant food. I'm scared.
He didn't
very
meant
terrifying.
food.
God,
He didn't meant food. No. This is rubbish. There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. Her many children, she claimed, all died from the flu. Whilst she fled town, the coroner's report did come through, stating the hag must have poisoned each child's stew. That's it. That's
for starters, that's too many syllables.
It's
And secondly,
it's too many syllables.
There's nothing suspenseful
and 4
about that
lines.
at all.
No.
It reads like a limerick or something, though. If you put a sing-song behind it, I mean, just tell it to children to see in the woods, that'll probably work all right.
Oh, indeed. Very good. They say you only die when you're forgotten. I lie in my coffin, as I have for the last 1,000 years, waiting for the sweet release of death. I wish I had never cured cancer.
What? There's so much to unpack there.
I know.
The one ailment that will end humanity, the one thing.
So this person cured cancer, and so they lived forever because they're talked about.
Because they've been remembered.
And they can't die. They're just
years.
awake.
Yeah. And he's lying there regretting having cured cancer.
God.
Some of these I've got to assume were submitted as jokes. So they've all gone on to... Remember, the subreddit is simply two-sentence horror. The subreddit isn't bad two-sentence horror. These were... a lot of these, I think, are meant to have been somewhat creepy. But there's got to be some silly ones here. For example... After days of constipation, I was finally able to take a shit. My relief turned to horror when millions of legs spawned from the mass in the toilet and it tried to crawl back up my anus. Surely a joke.
I mean,
right?
that is horrifying, but
it is. Yes.
If it happened, it would be. But that's just comical. That's funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was so surprised when my wife told me she was pregnant. We had been the only two left after the apocalypse a few years back, and we were lesbians. That one's really... That's just confusing more than anything else. I'm not even sure what's meant to have happened there. Whether it's either an immaculate conception or she's been having it away with like a gorilla or something.
Oh,
I don't know.
There's a lot of world building in that.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
A lot of exposition.
We awoke last night to find our little girl taking her first steps and speaking her first words. She is less than a week old and the language was tongues and the steps were across the ceiling of our bedroom. It's just a lot in the second sentence.
You could have just left that and she was only a week old. I think that's scary.
Probably. Yeah.
That's spooky enough.
Mm-hmm. This is actually really funny. I don't know whether they were... I don't think they were trying to be funny, but... A dying man pushed something into my hands. He told me I must use it. I'm sure one day, when it's most important, I'll find a use for this EpiPen.
That's just a joke.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? That's like a joke that your uncle would tell you.
That's better than any of the Fringe jokes we always hear.
It is, yeah. They called me delusional when I insisted that my sister was actually an alien infiltrator. Standing over her bloody body, I realised that they may have been ... right. The only reason I laughed at that was the ... I think without it, it's just a fairly standard two-sentence horror. But they may have been right. Yeah, they were correct.
The ellipsis, really, the suspension, even though it's already given you the punchline.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. This is great. I hope no one hears our terrible secret, I said to my friend. I did, said Big Ears Man.
Was that written by a 6-year-old?
Sounds like it, yeah.
Big Ears Man.
Big Ears Man heard your secret.
It's like some kind of thing your parents would tell you when you were a kid, like, don't say rude things about people behind the back. The Big Ear Man will find
Ears Man will hear you, yeah. I love petting my cat, I said to myself as I turned on the lights. Turns out my cat was sitting on the other side of the room. I was petting the hairy ball sack of the killer clown that wants to kill me.
Oh my God. There's so many words in that.
Yeah, the killer clown that wants to kill me. Why was it a hairy ball sack? It could have just been the clown's head or something. But no.
Maybe it was like a Siamese or, one of those Sphinx cats or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, Jesus.
Please, God, don't let it look in the closet, I silently prayed. Please, God, don't let it look in the closet, it parroted back from the next room. Now, the reason I like that one is because when I first read it, I read it like this. Please, God, don't let it look in the closet, I quietly prayed. Please, God, don't let it look in the closet, it parroted back from the next room. That's way funnier.
Mockingbird.
Yeah. I've got 3 more left. There's a guy in my class that could only answer 10 to any questions he's asked. One day, one of my classmates went missing, and he now say 11.
Oh, what?
Oh.
That's scary.
Yeah, very scary. This one's horrific. I'm pregnant and you're the father, she said to me. How long has my cat been able to talk? I thought.
Oh, what the hell?
That's gross, isn't
That's
it?
horrible.
That's awful. Yeah.
People like that one, did they?
Yeah, apparently. Yeah. And we'll end on this one that really just got me. It made me laugh out loud. Sir, you're sure you haven't eaten... hang on, yeah. Okay, sir, so you're sure you haven't eaten anything that might upset our readings? I'm sure, I said, as I finished swallowing 1,900 tungsten ball bearings before entering the MRI room.
Fuck's sake.
Why is it 1,900?
That's the optimal amount for shrapnel.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm sure,
God.
I said, as I finished swallowing 1,900
God's sake.
tungsten ball bearings. Terrible. There we go. So I hope you're all sufficiently spooked now.
Oh,
Bloody
utterly
hell.
petrified.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to sleep tonight.
No, me neither.
Christ. Thank you very much, Peter, for those.
You're very
Thank you.
welcome.
It's just as well I'm moving on to the next listener-submitted thing, which comes courtesy of... Will the page load? Yes, it will. Greg Miller at GregMill2290 on Twitter. This is an article written by Sky News. Why you can trust Sky News. Police discovered drugs in bag labelled "definitely not a bag full of drugs." Here's the photo of the haul. It's quite a significant haul, I've got to say. Maybe one of you can describe what's in that photo.
Oh my god. All right.
Wow.
Well, so there's a sort of a Hessian zip bag. It's like a pencil case that says definitely not a bag full of drugs in an almost live, laugh, love kind of font
Yes,
as well.
there's 2 sparkles on it too.
Yeah. And then there's various little baggies of, it looks kind of crystalline. I was going to say cocaine, but it's not. And there's blue stuff, and there's various different drugs, actually.
Mm-hmm.
There's some weighing scales. There's a very large amount of cash.
Yep.
There's some empty baggies, and also a gun.
And a gun.
As well.
And a gun. Yeah. Let me tell you a bit more. Police in the US have found drugs inside a bag labelled "definitely not a bag full of drugs." The stash was discovered in Portland, Oregon, when officers stopped a driver and passenger inside an allegedly stolen car. Posting about the incident on Twitter, Portland Police Bureau said scales, cash, and a loaded gun were also found. Pictured along with the items recovered from the vehicle was a small brown makeup bag with the words "definitely not a bag full of drugs" written on the front. Despite the claim on the vanity case, more than 10 grams of fentanyl and meth was reportedly found inside.
Jesus Christ.
According to local media, a man and a woman were arrested over the incident. The pair are reportedly facing charges of drug possession and possession of a stolen vehicle. So it's a short story, but it's the headline and the photo that really makes it, I think.
That's great.
It's a proper like cutesy kind of it's a makeup bag and like a nice font or like little like nice typography on it. It's definitely not a bag full of drugs. And then like seeing that all laid out, that's an impressive haul to fit inside a makeup bag,
is.
I will say. So
They've done a very good job.
Well, it's clearly not for personal use. That's dealer.
Yeah,
kinds
that's
of
dealer
quantities
stuff.
there, and all the money. Yeah.
So well and truly busted there. Not particularly spooky, but also it's definitely not a bag full of drugs. All right.
No, it's not. No.
Maybe do your trick-or-treating this year with a bag labelled something similar. Definitely not a bag full of sweeties. Do you guys partake? I assume you don't trick-or-treat anymore, but do you leave sweets out, or do you do pumpkins, or what's your guys' approach to that now as adults?
We tend to do a pumpkin every year and put it on the windowsill or the doorstep, and then we will buy a big multi-bag of drugs.
Yeah,
and
fentanyl.
we will, and we'll hope that kids knock on the door so we can give them the sweeties. But the past couple of years they haven't done, and we've assumed that they would do because we now live in an area with a lot of families. So this year we're even thinking of posting on the neighborhood Facebook group saying, "Children welcome at number whatever, number docs. Maybe we should post that not on Halloween, just, in a couple of months' time. Children, welcome to Peter's house.
Please come and take our sweeties.
Yeah. So we tried to partake, but no one ever comes. But then we have to just eat them all ourselves in November.
Oh, no.
The sweets, not the children.
Sounds awful.
To be fair, I have been having my own little Halloween evenings every night of trick-or-treating where I just buy a multi-pack of sweets for myself, the ones designed to be split up, little refreshers and chewy things. There's, that thing. Whenever Halloween rolls around, it becomes a dangerous time because I will just devour 20 of those things in a night and then do it all again the next day.
Yeah.
All for me.
It's a good way to do it. We've discovered that, I don't think we've done a pumpkin, but we've discovered that if you leave a little bowl of fortune cookies out, and as a test, a bowl of sweets, the fortune cookies will disappear much faster than the sweets.
Oh,
the kids
probably they like the variety as much as
love
anything
the fortune
else.
cookies. Yeah, the fortune cookies, they're unremarkable taste-wise, but
Yeah.
but the novelty I think is more interesting. So we've been stocking up on fortune cookies. They will all go out on Halloween's evening. We've also got some sweets as well, and we'll see. Again, we'll do another test.
Yeah.
See who takes the most.
Fill the fortune cookies with 2-sentence horror for the kids.
They love it. They love that stuff.
Yeah.
My Fortnite game was disconnected when I was about to get a victory royale. Are they still doing that, or is it Roblox now? What are they doing?
Yeah, what are the kids up to? I feel like it's just Fortnite and Minecraft forever now, isn't it?
Yeah, I think those games are still going.
Yeah, there's that's just children's entertainment now.
That's it. It's free.
Yeah.
So there we are. Well, that is my listener-submitted thing. Michael Johnson, it's time for your Spookiots thing, please.
Ooh, I come with a spooky game. Ooh. So I have looked at reviews for a lot of Halloween/horror films, kind of in the Halloween spirit, I guess. And I've specifically looked very hard at the 1-star reviews for those films. Okay. And I did this a good while ago with famous landmarks and locations, trying to guess what they're talking about from the review. So this time I come at you with some reviews of horror films that don't paint the pictures favorably, but allude to what it is in funny and interesting ways. I literally spent 6 hours scrolling through, trying to, because it's quite hard to find a good review that alludes to the film but doesn't totally spoil it and is still entertaining. And so a lot of these reviews are actually from IMDb, which now doesn't allow users submit reviews, and a lot of these reviews were from the early 2000s, like 2004, 2006. So there's some old opinions you're going to be hearing.
Okay.
I very nearly began with the title of the first film. That's not how the game works,
Damn it, Michael. Come on.
Okay, this is our first review for our first film. This is well, I'm not going to give any hints. I'll give hints when requested, if needed. Quit the damn singing, reads the title of this review. It's annoying. That's all there is to say. Every time Jack sings, he's so stressed out. Take a pill, man. The quick-paced music constantly going on in the background is enough to drive anyone nuts. Have you got any ideas? There's clues in there, but I realise this is hard for now.
Did you say these are all horror films, or?
Yes, horror or horror-related, or at least, spooky. Well, spooky. Let's say spooky.
I'm not a horror expert, but the fact that it said Jack leads me to believe that it might be The Shining.
Incorrect. Okay. There's a couple more reviews. There's no points for guessing early, but Peter, if you want to give it a go, we can give it a try. There's
glory for guessing early. No, if you've got more reviews, then maybe give me at least one more, and I'll see how I feel.
This might, if you've got an inkling, this might clear it up. I hate this movie. Is this a Christmas movie?
Yeah,
is this a Halloween movie? The fact that there is even a debate about which holiday this movie goes with makes me hate it more. I have never understood why this movie is considered a classic. If you're looking for a classic movie, go watch The Godfather or Rise of the Planet of the Apes. This movie is...
It's quite specific.
When I first read that, I skipped the words "rise of the."
Rise of the Planet of the Apes or The Godfather. Those two.
Those are my two favourite movies. Take it or leave it.
Yeah,
classics. Peter, I feel like you know what this is.
It's Jack Skellington from The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Ding, ding, ding. Well done. Peter gets a point. The other reviews I had for this one were, I just don't get why everyone likes this dumb, ugly skeleton. Get a life. Seriously.
Get a life.
God, they're so cross.
And I tried to go to Amazon for a couple of these as well, just to see what was out there. Mostly just complaints about the DVD not working stuff. But in 2014, someone let people know that please be wary letting 5 to 6 year olds watch this. My son watched some of this at his friend's house, who incidentally loves it, unknown to me, and will now not be in a room on his own and is terrified something is going to appear at the windows.
Oh,
so
bless him.
Don't let A Nightmare Before Christmas. Don't let your kids watch it. It's too spooky.
God.
Okay, there we go. Right, let's move on to film 2 of 5, I believe. Awful, Just Awful, reads the title. This is possibly the worst movie I've ever seen. I didn't believe it for a second. Am I supposed to think a pile of rocks are scary and twigs hanging from trees? Wow, that is so ... not scary.
Okay.
I believe I know what this one is.
Is it about the former Prime Minister?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, the Gordon Brown project.
Yeah.
Yes, well done. Wow, very good. I tried to go for the hardest one there at the beginning, but you got it straight away.
So what's the full name? Sorry, Mikey, just for people who didn't get that.
The Blair Witch Project.
Blair Witch Project.
Well done. The other reviews I had for this one were boring, slow, and not scary in the slightest. If you're looking for something to scare you, look somewhere else. This is the worst excuse I've ever seen for a horror film. The style of shooting was as expected, shaky handheld camera, which fitted the premise of the film, but you felt like you were watching an amateur film by school kids rather than actual footage of a real event which it was supposed to depict.
Wow.
Which is, I feel like the film just went over this person's head entirely.
Yeah.
It looks like janky students shot it.
Yeah.
Weird, that, isn't it?
Strange.
Yeah.
The groundbreaking, kind of the original found footage movie, and they're like, no, it's a bit shaky.
As expected.
Yeah.
And another comment just said, seeing someone's grandmother in the shower would be much scarier.
Oh my God. Okay.
True.
Oh dear. And one last one from Dr. Kimball in 2001. This is a vintage review. Worst of trash. The one positive thing about this film, since apparently none of the 3 young filmmakers survived, no more footage of this kind should be found anywhere. Hopefully the witch will soon eat up all the rest of the crew. So yeah, I think, well done for getting on the first one. I thought that was quite a tricky one. We continue. Film number 3. Like Big Brother, but even more dull. I just didn't get it. It was like watching Big Brother live in the middle of the night, but even more dull.
Huh. Big Brother live, but in the middle of the night.
Is this an obscure film, Mikey?
Can I make a guess?
Oh.
Yeah, it's very, very not obscure. Ben?
Is it Paranormal Activity?
Bingo, Ben, you're on a roll.
Yeah.
2 for
Very
2.
good.
Let's go. A couple more reviews for it. Horrible movie. What the heck is it about anyway? Yeah, some ghost/demon/whatever keeps playing with their heads at night, opening the door, lighting the Ouija board on fire, and turning the lights off and back on. So what?
Get a life.
It's only starting fires in the house, so what's to worry
It's
about?
not even scary. Fire isn't scary.
And the last one for this one was easily the worst movie ever. Take camcorder to your friend's house and get them to hide in the cupboard making daft sounds. Job done.
Yeah.
Easily the worst movie ever, was that?
Easily.
It's not even close.
Easily.
Okay, I think we're going a little bit more classic here, I'd say. It's not a horror movie, it's a movie about a crazy guy. I realised that the movie is not a horror. It just made me feel like it's disgusting. First, the main character saw a naked ghost, and he was so happy. That's not right. He is married.
He is married. That's not okay. You can't do that.
No.
And how come he just acted like nothing happened? He said he will do anything for the son, but he just let those ghosts control him and hurt his son and wife. And then the rest of the movie, just a crazy guy, how to kill his wife. He is just crazy people. I don't understand why people think movie is great.
Why is movie great? That's the question.
That is a lot of words.
Yeah.
There is a lot of clues in there, but it's...
I think when he saw the naked ghost, I don't think he was that happy because she was an old wrinkly corpse, wasn't she? Or she wasn't to begin with. That was the thing. He kissed her and then she turned rotty.
But he can't do that because he's married.
But he's married, you know. That is actually seeing the grandma in the shower, actually. And
there we go.
Yeah, and giving her a little kiss.
So you know what it is.
The Shining.
The Shining. It did sound like the I've not seen it, but it did sound like The Shining.
Good. Well done. Some more reviews. The plot is stupid, the little kid is weird, and they move to a hotel because his father is the caretaker of it. We find that the kid has a gift. The gift never has anything to do with anything except to make the kid seem cool.
Does the kid seem cool
more...
in The Shining?
No. I mean, to this guy, apparently, rolling around on his little trike.
I hate the film, but the kid's awesome.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Then the movie gets more boring and boring until the man finally goes crazy. He goes on a rampage to kill the kid and his wife because, well, he feels like it. And lastly, the best character in this was the carpet.
Oh, wow. That's brutal.
Okay, what we got? I'm going to do one more. We got this one. Again, nearly read out the title. Don't do that, Michael.
Don't do it, Mikey.
Okay. I think this is maybe the trickiest. Let's see.
Okay.
A mindfuck. As long as you are a 1960s devout English Catholic, otherwise keep away. A shock picture for people who are shocked by partial nudity and constant terrible singing. I can't stress the constant singing enough. There is barely 5 minutes in the film where someone isn't singing some awful new age hippie pagan song. Only if the idea of a non-Christian island town truly terrifies you, then it's safe to say you can pass this film up.
I watched this for the first time last week, and I was surprised by how much singing there was in it as well.
Ben, would you like to take a
Joker
guess?
2? No, it's not, is it?
It sounds like it. I believe it's The Wicker Man.
Bingo, bingo, bingo.
Okay. The one with Nick
They
Cage.
sing a lot in it.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
It goes on for a while. Yeah, I watched it for the first time last year. Really enjoyed it. But yeah, to be fair, there is a lot of singing. Not so much that it warrants a 1-star review, but...
No, I enjoyed it, but yeah, I was surprised.
Yeah, the entire focus of his review was the singing. So,
Yeah.
Another one just for fun. Completely misguided. First, the director seems to believe that daylight is the perfect time for over 90% of this supposed horror film to take place. Good. He is wrong, dreadfully wrong. Secondly, he seems to think that musical sequences involving percussive nudity addressed to the camera have their place in horror films. I couldn't begin to figure out where that idea came from. Thirdly, his so-called hero, the character we're supposed to root for, is basically an angry nun expressing his pious disapproval to everyone he meets and never once shutting up about Jesus.
Yeah. Wow.
So well done, Peter, for storming ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Ben, you did very well.
Oh,
but
thank
Peter
you.
had 3, Ben had 2.
Oh.
Just not good enough. So that sounds harsh. No, you did very
Do
well.
better
Not
next
good
time.
enough.
Not
See
good
me.
See me later. Rubbish.
Thank you very much, boys, for partaking.
Thank you, Mikey.
Thank you so much for that,
was
Mikey.
wonderful.
Peter, it's time for your listener submitted thing, and it's, I think, the spookiest thing we're going to talk about all episode.
Yeah, I agree. This was sent to us from Baz, and then a rat emoji at Bazball on Twitter. And guys, the person in charge of this repeating incident has decided we need to step it up a gear. It needs to get more exotic and more interesting.
Okay.
Cockatoo rescued after living on brioche for 4 weeks inside a Sydney supermarket.
Wow.
It's a fucking
This is the
Tory
real
bird.
reason why we took a break, because the birds were getting exacerbated trying to storm shops every 2 weeks. So yeah, they banked all that energy for a good one here. God.
A sulfur-crested cockatoo called Mickey that has been living on brioche inside a Sydney supermarket for 4 weeks has been captured by Wildlife Services and is expected to be set free soon, implying that he's been captured and has not yet been freed.
He's been imprisoned for a while.
Yeah, free Mickey. We're going to release a charity single for that. The New South Wales Environment Minister, Penny Sharp, announced on Tuesday evening that the bird had been safely captured by wildlife rescuers after spending way too long in MacArthur Square. Mickey's being assessed by experts. We hope Mickey will be flying free by tomorrow, she said, before thanking everyone who rallied to help Mickey. Earlier on Tuesday, Sharp promised that the bird was not going to be shot after false rumours of a kill order had spread online.
No, shoot Mickey on sight.
Yeah. The bird had been stuck inside the Coles supermarket in Campbelltown for almost a month, according to the Sydney Metropolitan Wildlife Services. On Tuesday morning, another cockatoo, Old Lady Doris...
Old Lady Doris, the cockatoo.
Yeah, was taken into the supermarket by the Feathered Friends bird rescue director, Ravi Wazan, in the hope that Mickey will be reassured by her presence. And here is an image of... It's not actually clear which cockatoo this is. It's loose, so I assume it might be Mickey checking out Old Lady Doris in a cage. There's a cage and a cockatoo next to it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe Old Lady Doris is in the cage and he's come to investigate. I'm not quite sure. The plan looked like it could work, with Mickey initially flying down before being spooked and retreating out of reach. It is Halloween, after all. He's really scared because there have been so many attempts, people trying to catch him, Wasan said. He's so scared, but the other cockatoo obviously is so loving that it really reassured him. We got so close, and then they opened the emergency doors, and it spooked him. Wazan said Mickey looked physically fine and was not hungry because he was eating really well in the supermarket. He just needs to chill out, relax, and come down without thinking that people are going to try and catch him, he said, just hours before the bird was caught. The exits where the cockatoo would go out are also the exits for patrons, so he just has to realise that the patrons aren't terrifying, which is obviously challenging when he sees everyone as a potential threat.
But people make
4 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, delicious brioche.
He was in there for 4 weeks, did it say?
Yeah, 4 weeks.
Oh my god!
We should start putting together a sort of a Premier League table of how long these birds are staying in their in their supermarkets.
Oh, that's a very good shout. Yeah, come on, keep them coming, birds.
Here's an image of him. It's not a very good image. I've sort of cropped it with text on it, but he's just hanging out there
above the rice bubbles. Excuse
me.
Oh, rice bubbles!
What the hell?
Gross.
That's what they call Rice Krispies in Australia?
That's disgusting.
Yes, so.
Do better, Australia.
Yeah.
What the hell?
They're Kellogg's as well, look. They're actual Kellogg's Rice Bubbles. They might even have Snap, Crackle and Pop on them.
And next to them, look, you can see some cocoa bubbles as well.
Oh. Horrid.
Fucking awful.
Disgusting.
I'm surprised he stuck around with food like that available to him.
Delicious brioche bubbles are very tempting, so
yeah.
Can't resist.
Well, there you go. Thank you, Baz, for sending that in.
Thank you very much, Baz. Thank you, Peter. The Bird Saga continues. It is now time for my thing. Now, this has become something of a Spookiots tradition, where for the first couple of years, I did Spook or Spock, where you had to choose whether it was a spooky quote from a horror film or a quote from Spock from South Park, Star Trek.
South Park, yeah.
And then last year I did Fright or Sprite.
Sprite or Fright, yeah.
Which was either a spooky quote from a horror movie or a slogan from a fizzy drinks company. Mm-hmm. This year, the tradition continues, albeit under a different guise. We are now doing, in 2024, Bear or Scare.
Oh.
So, what do you think this means? How would you interpret bear or scare?
Bear. I assume it's BEAR.
Mm-hmm.
Is it catchphrases by cartoon bears, or not necessarily catchphrases, but quotes by fictional bears, maybe, versus
It's close. That's close.
horror movie.
Maybe the names of bears in zoos or something against horror villains?
You're both nearly there, but not quite. This is, of course, a question of, are the following quotes from a famous horror movie, or are they from beloved animated Disney classic Brother Bear, in which an adolescent human is turned into a bear and charged with protecting the young cub orphaned by his hand?
Coda.
Exactly. Have you seen Brother Bear?
I've seen the advert for it. It was at the start of one of the VHSs I had as a child, so I know the name of the child bear.
That's pretty good. Mikey, have you seen it?
No, never seen it, but I think I've seen the advert as well.
Okay. I've got a number of quotes here, so we'll try and go through these fast, but some of them are from Brother Bear. Some of them are from horror movies. First one, our brother is dead, and it's because of that monster.
I'm going to say horror.
I'm going to say bear.
That is a quote from Brother Bear.
Oh, no.
I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so placid and self-contained. They do not lie awake in the dark and weep for their sins.
It's quite wordy. I mean, he turns into an animal and lives with it, but I think it's reluctant, isn't it? Or maybe someone else says it to him. Brother Bear.
Difficult. So you should have watched it. You should have done your homework, not knowing what this was going to be.
I think it's a bit too wordy and poetic for Brother Bear. I'm going to say that's horror as well.
I'm going to say bear. I'm going to commit to bear.
That, of course, was Lord Summerisle from The Wicker Man.
Oh, well, I should have got that.
No
Well,
way!
That. Next up, look what your brother did to the door.
Oh God! I'm trying to pick what doors get absolutely murked in horror films. The end of Nightmare on Elm Street, a lady gets pulled through it.
Well, famously in The Shining, a door gets murked, but there aren't any brothers in that, so.
I'm gonna say bear for that one because we rattled off the two horror films I know. So if it's not those, it must be bear.
I'm not sure there are any doors in Brother Bear because I think they're, isn't it a sort of an Aboriginal group, or I'm not even sure where it's set. Maybe I guess it's sort of North America or something. But I'm going to say scare.
That is from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
Okay.
1974.
Of course, yeah.
Next quote: "My brother's a spirit. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here."
I think that could be bear. It could be both, but I'll say bear.
I'll say scare. I've got no idea what the film could be, but I'm leaning scare.
That's from Brother Bear.
What?
Next quote: "I always wanted a brother." Sorry, I always wanted a brother.
Yeah, well, yeah, it could be, couldn't it? I always wanted a brother.
I feel like I know what this is from. I can feel it buzzing around in my head. I could just be making that up. I'm going to lock into scare, not knowing that there's a feeling inside of me that tells me to say that, but not knowing what film it's from.
I agree. It does sound like more of a, I always wanted a... Oh, but surely, maybe, no, Little Brother Bear probably says it. Just to go against Mikey, I'll say bear.
That's also from Brother Bear. Good
Okay.
guess.
Of course.
Yeah, the cub
Next
says
quote.
it, presumably.
Do I look like some kind of monster?
Scare?
Do I look like some kind of monster?
I'll say scare, but don't know.
I'll go bear.
Sorry, Mikey, that's from the 2022 horror movie Barbarian, apparently.
Oh, I love that film. Oh.
These monsters are really scary, especially with those sticks.
Oh, God. It's amazing how you can pick a single Disney movie and find so many quotes that may or may not.
It is. It's impressive, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Did you watch the film for homework for this, Ben? This is very
I have
good
seen this
cooking.
movie many times.
Oh.
Sticks. Bear?
I want to say scare.
That's from Brother Bear.
What?
That's from Brother Bear. I should point out that I had a lot of assistance from my girlfriend with this one, who is a big Brother Bear fan. So it lessened the load in terms of researching. Next quote. So we just going to ignore the bear then?
Oh,
Oh man. You go first, Mikey.
oh God. It's just, I'm like, yeah, lines are going through my head trying to picture what film this would work in. What horror film has a bear in it?
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, you know,
Midsummer, right? She gets stuck in a bear at the end there.
does she?
No, I don't know. I'm gonna say bear for this. I'm gonna say bear.
Okay, I'll go scare then.
Mikey Johnson is from Midsummer.
Oh my god.
Oh, what?
Really?
So
did I say
we're
that
just
at the
going to ignore the bear then, Midsummer 2019.
Oh God! Wow, I had it and I was like, nah, that's too silly.
It's too obvious, isn't it? Couldn't possibly be. Next
The
quote.
one film I know with a bear in it. Nah, not that.
I'm going to name it first, though. This year, I lost my dear husband, Edgar. Quit telling everyone I'm dead. Sometimes I can still hear his voice.
Now, for a minute, I was going to say, I bet there are no characters in Brother Bear called Edgar. But I bet all of the animals, you know, maybe the humans probably aren't called Edgar, but I bet all the animals are just called, you know, Gerald and
Bruce.
Mary and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah. So, I lost my husband, Edgar.
Edgar.
I'll go with my gut, though, and I'll say scare.
I'm gonna go with scare as well for this one.
That's Brother Bear.
What is it, a moose or something?
No, it's all the bears. They've made it to the sort of the promised land. They've all gone to like where the salmon are in the river, and they're all hanging out as bears. And there's an elderly couple, and this it's a joke. Like I lost my husband, and then Edgar says, "Stop telling everyone I'm dead."
Oh, I
and
see.
And he says,
okay.
Sometimes I can still hear his voice, but they're still very much alive. So
Right.
just a bit of humour for you there.
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah.
And now there's nowhere for Mum to go. The monster has her backed up against this giant glacier.
Oh. I was thinking scare, but now I don't know. The monster has her backed up against this giant glacier.
Yeah.
I want to say this is from like Planet Earth or something. So I'm gonna say scare.
I think it's a scare too. Yeah.
It's Brother Bear.
It's always Brother
Textbook
Bear.
Brother
Yeah.
Bear, my friends. Next up, whatever it is that's following me, it doesn't feel human. It feels like it's a monster. I mean, like it wants to hurt me.
I don't know anymore.
Are you-
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's tough.
Well, there've been a lot of monster references in ones that turned out to be Brother Bear. So
Yeah.
being followed. I mean, they go on a journey, don't they? Maybe they're being hunted. I'll go bear, I suppose.
I'll go scare.
That's from Paranormal Activity.
Oh,
There
okay.
you go.
A few more left. You can bring me the boy.
God.
You can bring me the boy.
You can
I'll say
bring me
scare.
the boy.
I will say Brother Bear.
The Babadook. It's the Babadook.
Ah, yeah. Duck, duck, duck.
This inhuman place makes human monsters.
Might as well toss a coin at this point. This inhuman place makes human monsters. Scare?
I'm going to say scare too.
You're both right. It's from The Shining, that one.
Oh.
And
A lot of the same films coming up. Paranormal
Yeah.
Activity.
Yeah. Final
Wicker
three
Man,
here.
Shining.
You know, he did look better as a bear.
Surely, Brother Bear.
I'm going all in on Brother Bear.
That's Brother Bear.
Okay.
Oh, God.
No matter what you choose, you'll always be my little brother.
No matter what you choose.
I'm going to say scare.
Yeah, I think it's a
Something
trick.
Yeah. Something about the word choose there.
It's Brother Bear. It's Brother Bear
Oh
again.
no!
What?
Yeah.
I was going to say, what choice would the little boy have to make that would mean he's not the little brother anymore?
You just have to
Does he
watch
turn,
the movie.
Is he
beautiful
able to turn human? Is that an option?
It's a
at the
beautiful
end?
film. I'm not going to spoil it. It's a beautiful film.
Oh,
You
okay.
should just enjoy it for yourselves. Shed a tear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bit of Phil Collins, I believe. in Brother
Loads
Bear.
of Phil Collins. Great. And finally, I have a story to tell you. Really? What's it about? Well, it's kind of about a man and kind of about a bear, but mostly it's about a monster.
Brother Bear.
I'm going to go scare.
It's Brother Bear. Short
It's
of
Midsummer.
short of literally quoting something that says, "You will always be my brother bear." That's the closest I can get to making it very obvious. But
Or, oh my god, I've been transformed into a bear.
help! I'm some sort of bear that's a brother. That's it. That's the quiz. I didn't keep track of who said what, but I'm fairly sure Peter was pretty far ahead on there. So congratulations, Peter, for being the Spookiots quiz champion this episode, this year.
Thank you. Yeah.
Absolutely.
How did
smashed
you
it.
do, listener/watcher?
Oh,
Let us know.
yeah, do let us know. And with that draws this episode of Spookiots to a close. Thank you very much, guys, for bringing your spooky things, and thank you to everyone for submitting your things to us on your social media platform. We really, really appreciate it. There's a few things we need to talk about before we go, but the headline, of course, is that we are going down to a monthly release schedule, and please put in your calendars the 13th of December for the Vidiots reunion stream, where we'll be live on Twitch raising money and hanging out with all of you guys, so do come along if you can. Mikey, I believe there's some sort of shop.
Oh, it's been a while since I've done this. You're darn tootin'. If you head over to vidiotsofficial.com and click on that lovely enticing little shop button, you will be greeted with a veritable bounty of goodies, including hat, mug, hoodie, t-shirt, and more. Go check it out.
Yeah.
Vidiotsofficial.com and click on shop.
Do it. Instagram/TikTok at vidiots.official. Go there and maybe you'll get a little tease of all the world globe-trotting Google Maps adventures we've been going on since we've been away. And YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, all.com/Vidiots
Official.
Our Discord is vidiotsofficial.com/Discord. Thank you to Tommy and Fleckers for modding us over there. And go chat with Podiots listeners and Vidiots viewers. And twitch.tv/VidiotsOfficial, which is where we will be live for our Vidiots reunion stream. Podiots.com. Go there, donate £3 or more to get a shout out at the beginning and the end of the next episode of Podiots. Join Pod Squad and support the things you enjoy. Mikey, can you kick us off again, please?
Frogly. Chegg is love, Chegg is life. The generous, raindrop joy. All aboard, choo choo. Dr. Goblin, Caroline, it's been a while, Lord Changedovic. You've been talking to the corpse, Fred. Specky Becky, Stephen Scores, thought Peter should know, there's now a Time Team podcast, 21 drizzling dick sores. Thank you.
Also, hope I'm on time to say, welcome back boys, girls, and others. France is bacon. French dip is magic. Big round jabbers make me hut. Scott Chegg. She pod. On my D. Till it hurts. Billy Bear Beef Wellington. That's it.
And finally, we have Mr. Macca, a succulent Australian corpse, the very generous You Say Wank If We Give Coin. Hi, I, Barry Scott Bang. Bethesda presents Balls Out 3 Poo Anus. She Daves My Benson Until I Phillips. Whiskey Mike. Prince Beefcakes. Durst Games Ever. Ben shops in Aldi on Sundays. And Billy Bear Beef Wellington. And that is your pod squad. We should probably pick a favourite, shouldn't we? We forgot to do that earlier.
Oh, yeah, we should.
Oh.
I mean,
I like French dip is magic.
yeah, that's good. I think Billy Bear Beef Wellington is a haunting image.
Yeah.
The idea of slicing through it and the face is just there. remove the slice.
I enjoy Durst Games Ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's my favorite.
I also enjoyed you working out balls out 3 poo anus.
Yeah, that's also very...
That was a journey.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, very strong ones this week. Podiots.com, £3 or more to get a shout out at the beginning and the end of the next episode of Podiots. Thank you so much, Pod Squad, for this week. Reminder that there will be a poll going out shortly after this episode goes live, asking for your input to decide what we pay Dave Benson Phillips. Please help us. Mikey, where are you on the internet, please?
At Parrot Boy on Twitter and Instagram. Instagram's the best place to keep up with what I'm doing these days.
Yes, and Peter, where are we, please?
You can find us at Team Triple Jump, making things together, including Worst Games Ever and Bad Cooking and Rules Boss. And you can find us separately at Confused_Dude and at That Peter Austin on various social media platforms. I've remembered what, you asked me before we started recording if we were still going to do This Week in Podiots, but now it's monthly, so that's way too much.
Right.
I think we said we were just going to pick out a few highlights.
Oh, yeah.
I'd just scroll down the list and say, hey, go check out these couple of videos, rather than every single episode of post some tat and, game selections. Memory cards, yeah. So would you like a few things that have gone out since the episode in August, and then we'll do monthly catch-ups as we go on.
Love that.
Yeah.
Well, we had Worst Games Ever, Crazy Frog Racer. That's a classic. An unlisted video called Happy Birthday Owen. Happy birthday, Owen.
Happy birthday, Owen.
Binging with Babish went out. 5 tasty recipes for your Switch cartridges.
Oof.
Oh, lovely.
I definitely tried the cartridge for its taste. Did you, Ben?
I think you did. I wasn't there for that one. But
of course,
I can't remember. I might have given it a very gentle lick, maybe.
Yeah, rank.
We did a playthrough of, a bit of a session in U-Star 2, the 3-headed Oscar winner, where we all put the t-shirt on together. There was the Barbie Makeover Magic Prove It, where we did makeup on Mikey.
Yep.
3D Pets on Worst Games Ever. The Insomnia Vlog, Finding Billy's Long-Lost Cousin, all sorts of things. I didn't really prepare this ahead of time, but... Prop
You're
Hunt.
doing wonderfully.
Prop Hunt with Hat Films. Draw the Fans 2. Worst Games Ever Fight Club. Loads of
stuff.
Loads of stuff.
Go and watch it.
Next time I'll have and Peter gets hit by a car.
Oh, of course.
Wow.
Just that small video. That's fine.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, go check all those videos out. And why not leave us a 5-star review on your platform of choice? It helps something to do with Al Gore's rhythms, and we'd really bloody appreciate it. Thank you so much, everyone. Until next time, look after yourselves. We'll see you in November. Have a very safe and spooky spook season. And, keep your drugs in a bag not labelled. Definitely doesn't contain drugs.
Yeah.
Just to be safe. But until then, goodbye, everybody. See you soon.
Ooh. Boo bye.
Boo bye. Boo booby.